All right, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite research hacks using MCPs within Cursor. So I'm just going to share my screen. We're just going to vibe and see what comes out of it. So let's go for it. All right, so we're going to share and I am going to show you Cursor. Here we go. Now, I know that to some people, Cursor looks a little bit scary. It did to me at first, but let me show you around just a little bit here so that we can, I don't know, maybe demystify things just a little bit for you. So when you log into Cursor, you're going to see a few different things. On the right here, this is sort of your main Cursor agent chat window. When you interact with an agent here within Cursor, it can code for you. It can understand your code base. It can do all kinds of different things. All right. And you can even select, which model you want to use for your tasks. I often default to Claude 4 Sonnet. If you're really trying to go crazy, you can use Opus or something along those lines. Each of the different models that you can choose have their own strengths and own weaknesses that you can kind of lean into if you want. Here, you can upload images if you want to give context to the agent. Maybe you're fixing a bug. Maybe you're just trying to analyze an image, or you took a screenshot of a website or something like that, and you want to do something with it. So that's where that comes in really handy. Here you see an add context at button. So on this, we can tell the Cursor agent to go and take a look and reference like certain files or certain artifacts if we want to arm it with context so that it can help us get our job done quicker. This here is basically a window where you can open documents, which are markdown files. You can open code files, all kinds of stuff like that. And down here we have our terminal. I've got my terminal shrunk down because I'm working on a project with Claude Code. Again, I use Claude Code in my terminal, and that is different from the Cursor agent using Claude. Okay, and the reason that's different, Claude Code is a bit more powerful in my view when it comes to understanding what I'm trying to achieve. It has a really big context window, so it can understand like a lot of existing code and files and things of that nature. And then I notice when I prompt it, it breaks down projects into very clear step-by-step tasks. We'll do another video on Claude Code because in this video, I want to show you how I use Cursor Agent to help me do some research. So maybe I'm trying to find a gap in the market. Maybe I'm looking to do some keyword research to create some content around, something like that. So let's just take the vibemarketer.com as our example website that we're going to build a strategy off of. So I'm going to tell the Cursor agent, hey, let's research the vibemarketer.com so that we can build a targeted growth strategy that leverages SEO and social content marketing. The first step I want you to do is to use the Firecrawl MCP to fully understand my website, target industry, unique value propositions, and brand voice. Use that to create a markdown file that summarizes your findings. Okay, so a couple things going on here. I'm referencing my website. I'm saying that I want to build a targeted growth strategy. I'm giving a couple examples. I want to focus on organic. I want to do some SEO and some social content marketing. Just kind of pulled those out of the hat. All right, so the first step that I usually start with is the Firecrawl MCP. So the Firecrawl MCP can do a lot of different things. In this case, I'm going to have it scrape my website, get all the data so that we can work from there. All right, it's going to get the copy, it's going to get the different elements on the page, it's going to get the features and the benefits that I talk about on my website, all of that stuff. And there's going to be various ways that we can use that information effectively. So the last thing that I'm asking it to do is to create an MD. So that's just a document, a text document that summarizes the findings. So we'll hit enter, and I'm going to show you sort of what happens. And while it's doing that, I just want to highlight that setting up an MCP in Cursor is very easy. Here's exactly how I do it. I will go and search for, say, Firecrawl MCP, and here it is. And if you click integrate now, you can sign in and it will give you some step-by-step instructions. You can take those, you can paste it into Cursor Agent, or you can just simply go and say, hey, I want to integrate the Firecrawl MCP. Can you give me a step-by-step guide for how to do that? Once you are able to do that, there's a couple small steps. Cursor Agent, during the process of creating an MCP server or integrating with an existing MCP, will create like an mcp.json file. So that file is going to have a little snippet of code, and it's going to tell you that, hey, you need to go open this file and put in your API key. You're going to get that from logging into Firecrawl or whatever. So there's basically just a couple steps that you need to do. Typically, after you enter in that password or API key, whatever it is, you're going to have to close Cursor, reopen it. You'll go up here, you go to Cursor settings, which you'll find right here, and you'll go to tools and integrations. And here you can see I've got a number of MCP servers set up that I utilize. And that's it. It's a pretty simple process that the agent can just guide you through. And the way that I figured it out was literally just asking the agent what I should do. But here we have some information from our Firecrawl MCP task. And let's check it out and see if it's relevant. So it's got an executive summary, community-driven platform on AI-powered marketing automation and workflows. This sounds good to me. It's hypothesized a bit about the target audience, the primary industry, audience size and engagement, sort of some of the benefits and things that we're talking about on the page. And here are some unique value propositions. So the Vibe marketing philosophy, no fluff, action-oriented approach, exclusive access to industry leaders. It's got some of the companies that we've done exclusive workshops with within the community, comprehensive resource library, community-driven learning, and then it starts to get into brand voice and messaging. I asked it to create a brand guide so that we can prompt the system with this as a reference point so that we can create content and blogs for SEO purposes. All right, so another summary here is talking about what our core products and services are. It's got templates and resource platform. We have a newsletter CTA on the website, which it mentions, and it's got differentiators, market position, growth strategy opportunities, content themes for growth, key insights for strategy development. So, Firecrawl gave the information to the agent, and then Claude for Sonnet, analyzed that and helped to craft this summary and this approach. So I think this is a really good starting point. So I want to go a little bit deeper though. And something that I like to do in my research steps is use this to go out and try to find competitors, people who I'm going up against in the market. So the way that I do that is I use another MCP. I use Perplexity. So knowing what you know from at the Vibe Marketer Research Analysis, we're referencing that document so Perplexity can take it into account. Go find gaps in the market for other community-driven marketing platforms and companies, and summarize the top gaps that are out there so that we can prioritize our efforts further. Okay, so we've started with an understanding using Firecrawl. Based on understanding, we're going to look at what competitors are doing, and our goal is to try to find gaps. We want to find out, hey, based on what we do and what the competition's doing, what are some unique angles that we can leverage with our marketing efforts? Ensure that you summarize each gap into a unique marketing angle that we can generate organic content around. All right, so we're just going to hit enter and we're going to let it get to work. Actually, I see that I may have made a mistake. I didn't mention the Perplexity MCP, so I'm going to stop that real quick. I'm going to go back. I'm going to edit my message, use the Perplexity MCP for this research step. All right, now it knows to go and use this tool so that it can work with Perplexity. So you can see here, I'll use Perplexity to research the competitive landscape and identify market gaps for community-driven marketing platforms. Let me analyze what opportunities exist that the Vibe marketer could capitalize on. Again, I say this a lot, but this type of work to me is what a lot of people are skipping over. They're glossing over. They want to get right to creating content, right to creating web pages, etc. But this is really the way that successful marketing starts. It starts with finding these gaps, finding the unique angles that you can go and position your products or services around. So start with the right strategy and then go from there. So we'll just wait a minute. Right now, it's researching specifically about communities to understand the competitive landscape. Now it's researching specific gaps in social media marketing, content creation, and marketing automation platforms to identify additional opportunities. So finally, it's saying it's going to analyze the research, create a comprehensive market gap analysis with unique marketing angles. And then it's going to create a new document summarizing the key opportunities. So we'll let AI work here for a second. Another couple little handy features that I like with Cursor, and by no means am I like a super expert in Cursor. I'm still learning my way around the platform a little bit, but I like these notepads here. So oftentimes I'll just like write about things that I'm wanting to test here in the platform, different insights that I'm picking up or whatever. And this is really kind of like a complete work environment. My friend Amir that I've done some videos with in the past said that he sees Cursor as like the interface for everything. So, I mean, whether you're working or doing things for personal productivity, Cursor can help you achieve that, which I think is really unique and something that you don't find in other like Vibe coding tools and stuff like that. The ability to really, fit it to whatever specific use case you want to leverage it for. So we have some gaps. Here's a summary. I identified 7 major market gaps that the Vibe marketer can exploit, each with a unique angle. So I like that. Implementation void. Most platforms are theory heavy versus hands-on. Marketing angle, build, don't just learn. The content strategy, live builds, 30-day challenges, 0 to launch series. That's awesome. Interesting fact, we already have 30-day challenges, so it's on to something correct. I think live builds is great. A 0 to launch series is great, more beginner focused. That's also actually some feedback that I've received is that sometimes I start assuming people know too much and really they want to figure out how to go 0 to 1. So that's very valuable insights for me to figure out how not only I can craft marketing content, but maybe also content and offers, features, etc. Within the community itself. All right. Number 2, community engagement wasteland. Most communities are faked sales channels. I agree. If you go onto school or whatever and you look at a lot of the communities, you can see that happening in real time. So marketing angle, real community, real results, content strategy, show behind the scenes community content, and member spotlights. I think UGC is incredibly powerful. You can repurpose that in multiple formats, multiple ways, videos, text, testimonials, interviews, etc. And I think that that's a great strategy that people would really resonate with, and it would help me gain new members. Number 3, beginner accountability crisis. So platforms target intermediate plus marketers. I'm guilty of that as well, but AI marketing for real people. I think that's an interesting angle, like, tapping into a new segment that's maybe outside of my social audience or something would be really valuable. So myth busting, 15-minute wins, non-techie guides, making all of this stuff feel much more accessible. Major competitive insights. So it's got a few different things here. Marketing AI Institute, $1,000 a year. Theory heavy, limited hands-on. CXL, great stuff. They have amazing content. It's an advanced focus. It says here, less beginner friendly. I'm sure they've got some beginner resources. Demand curve, $1,200, practical, but lacks enterprise depth. I've never used it. I can't speak to it. This is just what Perplexity is providing. Most platforms are tool-centric versus workflow-centric and have weak communities. So then it's got a strategic positioning opportunity. It's an implementation-first AI community, the only platform where you build real campaigns, not just learn theories. Very cool. And the analysis reveals that we're already well-positioned with kind of a no-fluff actionable approach. And there are massive opportunities to capture underserved segments like beginners, solopreneurs, and those seeking true community engagement. All right, so created a document for us that we can reference. It's got a lot more information, social content, ideas, key insights to develop these strategies, etc. So the point is that you can do some incredible research using these tools within Cursor. They're easy to set up. You can get a lot of benefits. Now, what if we want to utilize some of this information? Since we're just doing it really quickly on a call here, I'm just going to reference these documents. Now reference at the Vibe Marketer Research Analysis and at Market Gap. Let's see, where is that? And the Market Gap Analysis to prioritize social content that we can focus on creating today. Start with low effort, high impact topics that we can co-create. So basically, like, we've got a lot of information. It could kind of overload someone with options. Where do I start? Where do I begin? Oftentimes I'll just ask AI to help me prioritize and give me just a couple things that I can go and implement today. Now, you could obviously go crazy with this. You could create a full content calendar. You could create a content calendar visualization or app or whatever you want. And then you could automatically pre-populate scripts, drafts, completed content within there. We're trying to do just a quick use case example. So maybe we'll tackle that some other time. But this is just to get the brain going and to get you thinking. So right now it's prioritizing some ideas for us. We'll go ahead and just open that up. So create today. Gives me a production timeline. It's got the gap, which is the implementation void. Build, don't just learn. Member, success story, carousel posts. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Theory versus reality, quick video series. Community engagement wasteland. Community wins Wednesday. All right. Good ideas. Let me show you how I go from sort of idea to action and try to get my voice nailed with creating just a little bit of content for this. Okay, based on the social content priority framework, let's create a post helping people go from 0 to 1 with marketing, research, and analysis using AI, specifically with MCPs. Reference what we're doing here to craft your post. If you need to do additional research on MCPs and use cases, use Perplexity MCP. I'm going to add some more prompts here. Let's see. I found a little hack that I'm going to show you to try to get the brand voice as well. So I'm just going to ask it to research. There are multiple ways that you can try to get that context around your voice on social, but we're just going to see if Perplexity can help us get some information from the web. So it's calling the MCP again, and it's analyzing marketing use cases and my writing style to create an on-brand post. One thing that I notice whenever I use AI, typically, there are some things that you need to adjust, need to tweak, need to fix. For instance, it might use like emojis or hashtags, which you really shouldn't use on X. It'll limit the reach of your posts, in my experience. So, you might need to edit slightly to get the final output. But I've noticed when I use Firecrawl and Perplexity and give it some key references, maybe it's accounts that I follow, accounts that I like, referencing my own brand voice, it typically gets me, 90 to 95% of the way there, which is really, really solid. All right, so we're just waiting for AI to do its thing. And since I am not going to be editing this, I'm just going to be filming and posting. There might be some lulls as we wait, but that's okay. We're just vibing. All right, based on my research, I can see about boring marketer. Let me create an on-brand post about using MCPs for marketing research. I'll create it in your conversational direct style with a focus on practical AI workflows. Cool. So let's see what it came up with. Again, this is inspired by our research. In this case, I didn't exactly take one of the suggested ones. If I was building like a real strategy, I would go through here, I would give feedback, I would do additional research before I went into utilizing AI to create, the first version of the content that I wanted to work on or create. So it takes a little bit of back and forth to nail it. But that's just a matter of how we work with AI. So key elements that match my brand. I'm kind of curious about this before we actually check out the content. Direct, no BS approach. MCPs aren't magic. They're just really good plumbing. I like that. Specific actionable results. Used our actual conversation data, which is cool. Time efficient angle. 2 hours versus 2 weeks hooks into my automation focus. Boring honesty calls out the practical reality while showing the value. Community engagement, multiple CTAs and follow-up content ideas. Interesting, curious to see what it did. And then this works for the growth strategy, targets multiple gaps that were identified, and gives me the immediate actions that I can take. So let's see what it came up with, and we can see what we think. All right. Just spent 2 hours doing what would normally take 2 weeks. Okay, good hook. It's got numbers. It gathers attention. Typically, I write with like an AIDA framework: attention, interest, desire, action. So we've got a good hook to get attention. Here's how I went from 0 to 1 on marketing research using MCPs and AI. The setup: research target, thevibemarketer.com. Goal: build a targeted growth strategy. Tools: Firecrawl MCP, Perplexity MCP, and Claude. The 0 to 1 process. 1. Website intelligence, 15 minutes. Use the Firecrawl MCP to map and scrape the entire site. Talks about what it found, what it identified, the unique vibe marketing angle versus traditional funnels. 2. Competitive gap analysis, 30 minutes. Perplexity MCP research on community marketing platforms discovered 7 major market gaps, found that most competitors are theory-heavy with zero hands-on execution. Content strategy, cross-reference findings, prioritize social content. Result, 12 low-effort, high-impact content ideas ready to execute. Execution plan, created frameworks for immediate implementation, output complete growth strategy with a content calendar. What MCPs actually do, think of them as universal translators between AI and every tool you use. That's a great, simple definition. Instead of manual competitive research, copy and pasting between tools, switching between 10 tabs, you get AI that reads websites directly, real-time data synthesis, everything in one conversation. The boring truths, MCPs aren't magic, they're just really good plumbing. But good plumbing means 10x faster research cycles, data-driven insights, not guesses, more time for strategy, less for busy work. What I'm building next, a marketing research MCP that connects X, Y, and Z. Who wants to beta test this? So that's kind of interesting. And then if needed, it even gives me, more content to work with. Again, this is an amazing starting point. Few tweaks, and I would probably share this. I think it's actionable. One thing that I would do, since we're talking 0 to 1 here, we sort of miss how someone could replicate or set this up. It's kind of just talking about our process in a kind of broad sense. So I don't know, let's give it that feedback. Let's make sure we instruct someone how they can go from 0 to 1 in this post as well, not just detailing the process we completed. Okay, so making an update here. Let's see what happens. And, something else I might do if I'm creating content or whatever is I might take this output and bounce over to another AI model. Maybe I'll open up Claude on desktop. Maybe I'll go to O3 or something like that. And I'll kind of work back and forth until I get something that I want. So in this update, it gives step-by-step instructions, copy and paste prompts, pro tips, clear homework assignment, and it's immediately actionable, which is really cool. So yeah, just some ways that I'm using MCPs within Cursor, not to just code, but to do research, to find content ideas. Of course, once you find these ideas, these angles, these gaps, you can build things that automate, that help you scale it, that collect data, etc. But just wanted to give you a little 0 to 1 introduction on how I'm doing some of this research and how I'm finding Cursor to be a great place to do it. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope it's valuable for you.